Hello everyone, welcome to our new session. So, students, in today's class, we are dealing with our chapter. What was the name of the our chapter, students? Yes, tell me. That is Fair Play, which was written by whom? Yes, Prem Chand is the writer of the story. So, do you remember the main theme of the story? So let me tell you the main theme of the story. Actually, this story is about the realization of two friends who understand the importance of justice and right in life, and life made them realize that justice and right things are above everything, including their friendship or their relationship. So we were discussing about the chapter Fair Play. So are you able to recall the things, students? So here is a situation for you. I will read the situation first, and you have to tell me for the following questions. Okay. Rohan and Sohan are competitors. They both try to outspace each other in the class. They hate each other. One day during sports period, Rohan saw that few seniors were bullying Rohan, and Rohan was trying to save himself by punching them back, and suddenly the teacher arrived and asked what happened. The teacher cross examined the situation with Sohan, as he was there when the fight started. Okay, so think yourself as Sohan, and what steps you will take and why. Will you put blame on Rohan or tell the truth? So here is a situation for you. We know that there is two students who named as Rohan. So this is Rohan. So and this is Sohan. So actually, the Rohan was trying to save herself, punching them back, punching the seniors back. So this is senior. So here you can see Sohan is actually so every actions of Rohan. So the teacher cross examined means what? Students questioned the situation to Sohan, and uh, so think yourself as Sohan. So you here you have to think that you are Sohan, and tell me what steps will you take and why. Will you put blame on Rohan or tell the truth? So students, that you have to aware about this thing. Truth is bigger than anything. As we discussed it in the previous class also, truth is bigger than friendship, and we can say truth is bigger than competition, and we must be honest in every place. So that is the main theme of the story. So let's discuss the third part of the story. Okay, then here is a question for you. Name an honest person whom you know. What are the different qualities of an honest person? So you have to come up with your answer, students. So I will give you some examples, or I will give you some traits of an honest person. They must be they must be responsible, to keep promises. Okay, students, am I right or not? And the second trait of honest person is they don't exaggerate. They don't don't exaggerate their character. Okay. Okay, so we can say they will not they will not actually act or exaggerate their character, and they don't gossip. Am I right, students? They don't gossip. Okay. And also we can say they will actually they have empathy also. Empathy for others. Okay. Students, let's see what is happening in the next passage. Before that, I want to test your understanding. A student has an exam online, and there is no camera surveillance for the test. He was not prepared for the test. Should the student cheat in the test as there is no camera? So it can be a chance for cheating the test, students. So if you are doing like that, it will uh, actually questioning your honest. So you have to be uh, prepared, and you have to come up with your own answer. Don't cheat the exam in the exam hall. Okay, students. Then in the next passage, here you can see I have written it as a role play. So let's discuss it about this passage. So here you can see the panchayat was held under the same old banyan tree. The voice of the punch is the voice of God. Let Sahu nominate the head punch. I will abide by his decision. Sahu was his stance and proposed the same of Juman. Algu's heart sank, and he turned pale, but what could be he do? But the moment Juman became head punch, he realized his responsibility as judge and the dignity of his office. Could he, seated in that high place, have his revenge now? He thought and thought. No, he must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing the justice. So, tell me the meaning of proposed, students. So, do you know the meaning of propose? It means suggestion or suggested. Okay, and here you can see the word Algu's heart sank. What it means, students? It actually means Algu felt discouraged. Okay, and in this passage, what you can observe, students? So, actually, in this passage, you can see the panchayat was again held under the old banyan tree, and Algu stood up declared that the voice of the panchayat is the voice of God, and in other words, the punch had to be fair in jest. And with this declaration, he suggested Sahu to propose the head of panchayat. So here you can see he is actually allow the Sahu to lead the panchayat. Okay, then with this declaration he suggested that the Sahu propose the head punch. He also said that he would accept whatever would be the decision. Okay, and in this you can see that Sahu took his this as an opportunity, and he suggested that Juman Juman's name Algu felt disappeared and weak inside, and he was completely helpless. Okay, then students, in the in this passage you can see, or we can say this as narrative. As soon as Juman became a head punch, he understood the responsibility of the judge and the respect and decorum this office held, and his inner voice forced him to think. He asked himself, if it was the right thing to take revenge while being seated at such a high position. His higher voice means inner call did not permit his personal feeling to overpower the way of justice and truth. So here you can see there is a great message. So if we are in a higher position, we should not consider the decision as a biasness. So we have to be keep our objectivity, and we don't have the right to overpower the way of justice and truth. So that is the main message of this passage. And here you have to explore this particular passage, and I will read this passage to you. The panchayat was held under the old banyan tree. Algu stood up and said, the voice of panchayat Panch is the voice of God. Let Sahu nominate the head Panch. I will abide by his decision. Sahu saw his chance and proposed the same of Juman. Algu's heart sank and he turned pale. But what could he do? The moment Juman became head punch, he realized his responsibility as judge and the dignity of his office. Could he, seated in that high place, have his revenge now? And he thought and thought, no, he must not. Okay. So, what is the meaning of revenge here? It means high rank or respect. Okay, students, that is the meaning of dignity. And here you can see in this passage what you have got, students. Both the Algu and Sahu spoke their matter and kept their view and concern before everyone. Okay, then let's see the next slide. If you were at the place of Juman, what decision would you make? What decision should you do? Yes, students, tell me. Then test your understanding. Sahu chose whom as the punch? Sahu chose Juman as punch. Okay, students. Then tell me the meaning of dignity. Do you know the meaning of dignity? It means respect. Okay. Respect. Okay. Are you clear with this point, students? Then the final decision. So we can see the final passage of the story and what is happening in the final session of the story. Both Algu and Sahu stated their cases. They were cross-examined and the case was considered deeply. Okay, here you can see Sahu and Algu were come up with their decision, and they stated their points also, and they were questioned and the case was considered deeply. Okay, so the case come into a deep consideration, and it is our opinion that Sahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock when Sahu bought the bullock. Okay, it suffered from no disability or disease. The death of the bullock was unfortunate, but Algu cannot be blamed for it. So, what was the decision of Punch, students? Yes, you have to tell me. So, since the last panchayat, we can see that there were examined and the case was considered very deeply, and then Juman stood up and announced that it is our opinion that Sahu should pay Algu the price. Okay, the price of bullock. And when Sahu brought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or diseases. So what is happening in this passage, students? Actually, this time we can see that both the Algu and Sahu spoke their matter and kept their view and concern before everyone. They were actually questioned, and every small detail of the case was looked upon very minutely. And after hearing everything, Juman stood up and declared that in their views, Sahu should pay Algu the price, okay, of the bullock, as at the time of sale and purchase, the bullock had no suffering or disability of any kind. The death of the bullock was the bad luck. But Algu could not be blamed for this. Algu became emotional. He stood up, and here you can see in this passage, you can see Juman came to Algu and embraced him. Okay, uh, I will read this passage to you. Since the last Panchayat, I had become your enemy. Today I realized what it means to be a punch. And a punch has no friend or no enemy. He knows only justice. Let no one deviate from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity. Algu embraced his friend and wept, and his tears washed away all the dirt of misunderstanding between them. Okay, so after hearing everything, Juman stood up and declared the views of and the decisions. Okay, students, and here you can see. In this immediately after this, Juman went to Algu. They hugged each other and felt sorry for being his enemy from the time of last Panchayat. The day he had understood the importance of a punch, okay. So, Algu actually realized what is the meaning of punch, and a punch is impartial and unbiased. He could not afford to have friends or enemies, okay. He knows only one thing, that is justice. So nobody should ever move away from the path of justice and truth for anything, their friendship or enmity. So Algu hugged his friend and cried as if in uh, responsibility, and his tears cleaned all the misunderstanding between two friends. So that is the final decision, that were the final scene of the lesson. So here you have to find the important words, that is cross examined. I have marked it here. So tell me the meaning of cross examined. Yes, it means questioned. Okay, so are you clear with this point, students? And what is the difficult word here? Okay, then you have to tell me what according to you is the moral of the story. What do you think? What is the moral of the story? Yes, you have to tell me what is the moral of the story. Yes, we can say the story is about the realization of two friends who understood the importance of justice and the right things in life. Okay, and life made them realize that justice and right things are above everything, including friendship. So, that is the main moral of the story. I think you got the point, students. So, for testing your understanding, tell the sequence of these events. Algu bullocks died. Algu became the punch. Juman and Aunt had a agreement. Aunt asked for allowance. So this is the first thing, and this is second, and Algu is become the punch, and this is the fourth part of the story. So have you clear with this, students? So what is honesty? That is the question. What is honesty, students? You have to tell me what is honest. what are the character traits of to be honest. So if you are to be honest, you have to be like empathetic, and you don't have to exaggerate your character. You have to keep your promises also. You have to be responsible for keeping the truth. That is the meaning of honest. And what was the final decision? Do you know what was the final decision? As we discussed it in this passage, what you have got, students. So, Sahu should pay Algu the price of bullock, because when Sahu brought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or diseases. So, that was the final decision of this panchayat. And create sentence using abide and opinion. And complete the line honesty is what, students? So you have to complete this also. So here is a homework for you. Write in your diary that what lesson you have learned from the chapter Fair Play. Write 10 lines on the character of Juman and record on topic honesty for 2 minutes and send it through mail. So this is a homework for you. So you have to come up with your work, students. So thank you so much for joining this class.